And I heard about Bitcoins back then because I had a lot of degenerate friends who were looking at trying to buy drugs online. And so I did have a few friends pick up some Bitcoins back then, but they were also, too fucked up to keep the little thumb drive around or whatever they needed. People who try to buy heroin online aren't usually the best at like keeping track of a 3.5-inch long piece of metal.
Yeah, I had friends that were trying to buy like designer psychedelics.
Oh yeah, you run in that kind of crowd, huh?
I mean, I was just telling
for sure.
Yeah.
Man, every single one of those.
What the hell is a designer psychedelic? Why don't people just do mushroom?
Like a synthetic,
2CE.
right? Exactly.
Oh, I accidentally took
sucks.
that. I actually did a research chemical one time when I was in England. I said the only time I ever left the country. But I was studying abroad, and my friend gave me pills because English people just take pills.
Fucking pills, man.
It was like horrible.
Yeah, I took 2CI once, and I got the like trail thing where like there's trails behind everything, but instead of that, it was like I would look at one thing, and then the next thing I looked at, there would just be like 1,000 of the first thing on the way, and then I would try and focus, and then it would just happen with the next thing that I saw. But I got like none of the cool like being high feelings from psychedelics, so it was just very confusing.
The research chemical I did was different from all of yours. I did 2CT2 once.
Yeah, they all start with the number 2 for some reason. 2CB, 2CE, 2CI.
I also tried 5-MAO-AMT, I think is what it was called.
Is that from like
Thank you.
phenylkylamines I've known and loved or whatever? You know what I'm talking about?
Yes,
They make
I know
it too
exactly what you're
confusing
talking
for
about.
people who are doing
Alexander
drugs.
Cal and
Shulkin.
Tycal, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I definitely could not remember that string
never
of numbers
fucking
and letters
dove
while I was
deep?
on it.
You never dove deep into the Arrowhead fucking...
Wait, tell me about your weird 2C whatever one.
2CT2. I went to
2CT2.
like a beach trip in college, and I had a lot of chemistry friends and a lot of friends. So I had a buddy who had bought a big pile of powder of 2CT2 online and had used Jack Daniels to like titer out dosages because he like measured it out like the right amount of grams and like figured out how it would dissolve and shit. So he had like where one shot would be like one good dose of the 2CT2. And it was like the only reason I took it is because they told me it's like it's supposed to be pretty mild, like, and it was like I didn't see like anybody's face turn into a wolf or any fucking crazy shit like that. But there was like there was a lot of tracers and things like that. And the thing I remember the most is it had an extreme like time dilation effect.
Oh god, that's my worst.
That was so crazy. Like I smoked like 3 cigarettes. It felt like I was out there for like 4 years.
Oh my God.
Like, fucking horrendous. This pizza came. Like we all were like so hungry. Felt like we were waiting forever for this pizza. This pizza shows up. I take like 3 bites. I look down. Like I cannot believe I'm still eating this fucking pizza. How long I've been eating this fucking pizza for? This is absurd. And then we watched like everybody was freaking out. And then they had like the A&E version of The Sopranos that they had for a little while. You know how they ran like the edited versions?
Oh, God.
Oh, that's
A&E?
funny.
Yeah.
And we were watching
Dude,
that.
nightmare. No, you don't want to just watch something about like divorce.
Yeah,
And murder.
I was in and out. Literally, I mean, if they're sitting in a seat, like there was all I remember is there was a scene where Tony and somebody else were sitting in a car and they were talking and they exchanged 2 lines. And I'm like, this is the longest movie I've ever seen in my fucking life. I'm going back outside. So I looked at the oil rigs a lot and I moved my head back and forth to watch the lights trace. And I was like, it's fucked up that those oil rigs are right there. And that was about it.
Yeah, every time I'm at the beach in Mississippi, it's like, oh, beautiful. And then you look out like a little bit further and you're like, ah, damn.
Yeah, that one was Alabama, though. And, so cheers to Alabama for sure. Kudos to Mississippi because they are a lot less visible in Mississippi. In fact, we have an ordinance that says you can't be directly within the coastline site of Mississippi.
Oh,
so
interesting.
Can't you see it from Waveland?
Waveland, you might be able to see into the Louisiana side.
Waveland.
yeah.
Listen to this northern boy. Waveland.
It's Waveland.
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 Waveland. Waveland. A water park. I bet there is a water park called Waveland.
This is just the make fun of how Benjamin pronounces things podcast.
Oh,
yes,
man.
let's do it.
Did you hear about that? It was probably a while ago. maybe y'all actually told me about it on the podcast, but the kid that got decapitated on a water slide.
Oh, hell yes.
At the Schlitter
The
Bahn.
Schlitter Bahn.
Yeah.
What?
Dirty. You never heard this shit?
No.
They tried to
That is the best.
make it so extreme, and the day it opened, a kid lost his fucking head.
It was the last day of the season.
Yeah.
How?
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
oh, never
so,
mind.
no,
Okay.
it was-
But it was the
'cause it
first
was
season,
crazy.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna have another day of the
It wasn't
season.
just any kid that lost his head either. It was a state senator's child.
God damn it.
No.
Yes, a state senator that was there for the last day of the season. They were trying to show off this big fucking slide to that they literally rushed to build so they can be on the most extreme water slides on the Travel Channel. They fucking had no scientists test this thing. It was designed by some asshole that from the family that just literally lives in waders and hangs out in his backyard. And he's like, I'm gonna make the most extreme fucking water slide. They people were flying off of it, so they put this crazy net around it with rings all over the place, and then people started hitting their heads. There was documents of people knocking their heads, bumping into people from behind, fucking up their legs, and I had employees come out and say that they had us not report it. They were just trying to get through the season. They're
My
like, if we
God.
can get through the season, we can shut it down and fix everything. And then the last day of the season, the state senator's child gets his head cut off by the slide.
Well, so they definitely won most extreme though.
It was,
Yeah,
yes,
it's
yes,
the
yeah.
most
Okay.
extreme.
They definitely got that taken care
I
of.
mean, if you won't die on a water slide, then it's not fun. If you know you won't die.
It's a hot take.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
There was somebody invented, didn't actually build one, but invented a roller coaster that is a fuck, what's
Euthanasia
the word? Euthanasia machine. Yeah, it's I think it's just through centripetal.
It's all
force.
loops.
Yeah,
It's smaller and smaller loops.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you lose all the blood to your brain and you just die that way. It's extremely cool.
It's huge, and it's one huge loop and then one smaller loop until you're going 1,000,000 miles an hour in the size of a car tire, and it just breaks you apart.
Jesus Christ. Does it hurt?
People would have been way more
I
behind
think it's supposed to
Kevorkian
be.
if it was this.
If
I
it's
wouldn't have even been.
Kevorkian land instead of Waveland.
Euthanasia. Man,
Kevorkian land.
I always knew Dr. Kevorkian was misunderstood, but he was a good man.
Dr. Death. I mean, he just tried to defend himself in court. That doesn't sound like the smartest move.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that his name, I think also he is an unfortunately silly name.
Well, I think right now we just all remember it growing up whenever
Right. Well, he
from
was
the
so
90s
demonized. I remember
Yeah.
him being completely demonized. But
Oh yeah, he was definitely a good guy.
Yeah, well, there's straight
Yeah.
up states where it's legal now for you to do whatever
Right,
he
but-
did. So I
but-
mean, it's there's people who definitely. It's not the most evil guy in the world.
he's not evil at all. I mean, didn't he? All he did was help really, really sick people die, right?
I mean, I can't talk on that issue. All I know is the man's in jail. I don't want to go out too far out on a limb.
Or he's dead, right?
He's dead?
I think he's dead. No, I
don't
read
know,
about
maybe-
him one day.
Look, all I know
and I
is
was
they said it.
surprised by
That's some
how.
who shaves the barber shit. Who Kevorkian's Kevorkian.
I just don't know if he was one of the guys who maybe convinced people too soon or something. creepy
No, he
like that.
wasn't.
Okay,
I
okay.
read about him on Wikipedia, and I thought that growing up. And I read
Because
about him.
you were raised Catholic.
Yeah, and also I was raised to think he was evil, and then
Mm-hmm.
I read things about him, and he actually was a really good
Good dude.
man.
I remember
it was
my
really
mom
super sick.
being
I trust-
super pro Kevorkian,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Kevorkian rules.
to 8-year-old me, just being no, if I ever get sick, you need to do that. I'm all right, mom, I'm
relax. Oh my
8
God.
years old.
In a similar vein to Benjamin's mother, my mom sat me down after the Menéndez twins or whatever, the brothers that killed their parents. I was 6, and she sat me down and was like, Cyrus, if there's any problems between
She thought you were going to kill her?
she wanted to nip it in the bud. Oh my god! Absolutely. If there was any, she's like, if you have any problems with mom or dad or anything, you can always come and we can talk about it. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to do anything crazy.
That's amazing.
Were you a creepy kid?
Well, see, I'm the liver here. I'm just living my experience. I don't know how creepy or not creepy I was. Maybe I was like a little Damien in the Omen
That's a
in the
creepy
corner.
answer. So, yeah, I'm the liver.
I'm the
here.
liver.
Yeah, come on, man.
That is weird.
Can you talk about when you won a sweepstakes and what your options were and what you
Okay,
chose
yes,
as a
yes.
child? I want to.
Oh, by the way, this is Cyrus
dig this
Cooper.
up.
We
Yeah.
never fucking intro
Oh, this
the
is Cyrus
goddamn
Cooper.
guest.
He's a great comic in New
Apparently
Orleans.
a person who needs
And
no introduction.
He has a great podcast.
Oh,
too.
thank you. Yes. Well, I did win a sweepstakes when I was in 6th grade. Yes, put on by the Three Musketeers, the M&M Mars company, and the Channel One. Y'all ever watch Channel One?
Hell yeah! Are you
Dude,
kidding?
Channel One was the fucking boss.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That's where I saw 9/11 happen. Was on channel.
Oh yeah.
Really?
No, not really.
I heard about it 9/11 on NPR. Is how I heard about that.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah.
I was in the.
That's the
parking lot.
making of Cyrus Cooper right there.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also that time that like I was having a dream and some kid came up to me and told me that MCI and WorldCom had merged. Turns out the radio was leaking into my dreams because I went to sleep to NPR.
Wait.
Damn, that's lame.
Yeah, super lame. But when I was in 6th grade, around the time I had the MCI WorldCom dream, there was a sweepstakes put on by M&M Mars and the Channel One News for kids, and they put on this. It was when they had the claymation Musketeers guys. You remember the claymation Musketeers
I don't remember
commercials?
that, no.
It was like the goofy little Three Musketeers guys, D'Artagnan and running around. And they put up this phone number for the Pump Up Your Life sweepstakes, and so they gave you a phone number and they said you can win one of 3 grand prizes. There's the Pump Up Your Room sweepstakes that you can do. You can pick that grand prize where they give you a big ass computer. They give you like a brand new TV, stereo system, everything you want to pump up your room.
Like the Hey Arnold bedroom.
Yes,
basically,
exactly.
yeah.
With no skylight though. I don't know if they're gonna fucking change your architecture, but they said, or you could also choose like pump up your family vacation by you and your family take a trip for a week to Hawaii, all expenses paid by M&M Mars. Or the third option, of course, because they're being 3 musketeers, they have to have 3 options. The third option was pump up your social standing, because the trip up for that one was the prize was that you could win a ride to school for you and 3 of your friends to and from school in a limousine for a month. That they would rent out a limousine, they'd pick you up, and they'd go and pick up 3 of your buddies. And then
you were like, "Fuck my family, I'm gonna do this."
So I called up the number after seeing the advertisement, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call this up and enter. And when you enter is when they ask what you want. Okay, all fairness to me in this scenario, when they ask you, you have no idea you might win or anything. Although if I had to pick after, I probably would have chose the same. Okay, I'm not going to actually use this as a defense because I do not actually care. I literally had the thought, like, I do not care about going to Hawaii with these people. Because it would be like my family never took vacations. My dad is like a workaholic, you know. He's like, we never really went further than like Gulf Shores for like a vacation. So I was like, this is not going to work out,
Right.
if we tried to pull this off,
Right.
And so,
And what about the pump up your room?
See, I already kind of had a tight room. Like,
Yeah.
I already had a computer and like a stereo, so I was happy.
Yeah.
I didn't really need that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for the limousine. I'll pop the limousine option down. And in fact,
That makes sense, actually.
there was 3 grand prize winners. 2 people picked the limo. Okay, and 1 person picked the room. Nobody chose the Hawaii trip.
I get
none
that.
None of these 12-year-olds, these 13-year-olds
Wanted to hang out with their
I'm not
family."
taking these
Yeah.
jerk-offs to Hawaii. They wanted me to clean my room all the time. They don't deserve no trip.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch my big TV, or I'm going to go grab some people in a limousine. And that's what I did. They threw me a big party after I won, too. They, like, threw a pizza party, and they brought in, no shit, they brought in a 3-foot-long Three Musketeers bar to scale.
Nice.
So it was like literally a foot tall, like, and 3 foot long. It had a wrapper with
Wow.
accurate
Nutrition facts and shit. Yeah.
information, all of that stuff. People like took home huge slices of it. Whenever and then it was like a big PR thing. Like, there was this local radio host there in Mississippi named Jan in the Van. She would do this morning show where she would, like, you know, your fucking car dealerships having like a big blowout. Jan in the Van's there to help you, like,
Right.
with Magic 93.7 or whatever.
Sounds like someone you're warned about as a child.
Jan in the van.
Jan's in the van.
Yeah.
Well, Jan was in the limo that day. She rode with us the first day. They had like a camera crew, like, outfitted out to like film like promotional tape. It was a very interesting experience. But I wound up just taking the taking the prize and taking the limousine to and from school for a month for me and 3 friends. So it ended up being a big argument all the time about who I was going to pick up and people jostling for position. And
It really is like winning the lottery, but the tiny person version.
Yes, it's
where
the
it
child
ruins
lottery.
your life.
Were you cooler at school? Like, did you get whatever 12-year-old late is because of it?
I would say so. I would
Yeah.
say yes. That there was definitely, I definitely brought
Some
a little bit of,
smooches.
I definitely pulled a little bit of extra attention in around then.
Did everyone know why you had gotten it, or were you able to be like, I'm temporarily very wealthy?
I think they made a big deal about it, and they had a bunch of people come in. They had the news come in for the party. They had like the news crews there, and there's like 20 people. So everybody kind of knew that I had won the sweepstakes. It was an exciting time.
I never thought that you would be able to convince me that it was a rational decision, but I'm convinced.
We're not recording right now.
Oh yeah, they turned it off. You can say whatever you want,
Yeah.
Benjamin, into a microphone.
I'm just gonna cry for a while.
Just get it out there.
I'm pretty hungover.
You hungover?
A little bit of booger sugar last night.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that'll do it.
It's not a great decision ever, really.
Well, it's just such a.
It felt great though. I was in a conversation about the movie Vice, which I have not seen for
I have not.
probably 6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours. That's a lot of.
It
bullshit,
felt like
dude.
it, man. I was talking a lot about a thing that I don't know about.
That's exactly what it's for.
Right.
There's no other reason to do it except for that. Honestly, like, do I know the goings on of like the political life of the Eagles in the middle of their making a Hotel California? Not at all. But I'm willing to speculate.
Are we recording again? Because whoops.
Yeah, what'd you say?
Oh, just that's slander.
You can negate anything slanderous that you say by just like later, like maybe now saying
Allegedly.
Yeah, exactly. This guy knows what I'm talking about.
You can have you just hit an allegedly button, dude. You just have to have one of those all the time. It's
like the air horn.
Exactly. It's the first rule of podcasting, man. You just have to be able to drop that allegedly because you don't know how litigious these motherfuckers are, man.
Yeah.
They might have people are just listening to shit and want to fuck you up, man. You can't trust anybody in this world except for the people around this table.
That's
Am I
true.
right?
When I was in Iowa City, I started carrying a briefcase to try and convince my students that I was qualified to teach them. And I noticed that people drove more carefully around me when I was carrying the briefcase. And I think it's because it makes me look more litigious. Like, genuinely.
Oh, my God.
I think that is a true thing.
You were overthinking it, probably. I mean,
Me?
everything in this story
What?
you were overthinking.
These
for
old
sure.
draft? Well, you mean I didn't need to wear a tweed blazer every day?
Did you wear a tweed blazer?
Of course he did.
Like once. I have one. It doesn't fit me anymore. I
He
should give
wore
it to
it every
Jeff,
day.
actually.
I've been to Iowa
Oh
City.
yeah, you should give it to Jeff.
Yeah.
You look good in that.
What's that?
I've been to
what?
Iowa
Oh,
City.
yeah? What were you doing there?
I was doing improv there.
Ooh.
I did an improv comedy show in Iowa City at a small theater there.
How long ago?
2011 or 12.
Did you, was there a group called Janice that you performed with?
No one performed with us.
Oh, fuck. Headlining. That's pretty cool.
Sorry, Charlie.
No
Actually,
openers?
No, actually, the opener was a little stand-up by the name of Cyrus Cooper. And then
That is convenient.
We did some improv for the people of Iowa City. The people being like the 9 people that came to that small theater in the
Yeah.
downtown.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Riverside?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I lived real close to that.
It was a cool place though. We
Yeah.
actually went and got sushi there.
It's like wait, at the theater you can get sushi?
No. In Iowa City though.
Oh yeah, yeah. That is a community resource. That theater that I was there for like 4 years and never went there once. Didn't see a single play. I'm a bad community member.
Plays are actually kind of bad a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like plays. I think
hate
they're
plays.
good. But a lot of times we go see them, they actually suck ass.
Yeah.
The only
I-
West End I care about is that Lake Pontchartrain. Pow pow pow.
Boom, 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 boom.
I hate
Allegedly.
live theater so much, even though I was a theater kid in high school, and I knew then that I only liked being seen. I hated watching them.
See, there were some I really liked watching that were weird or cool, but most of them had bad acting kids in them. I did a lot of theater in high
I
school as
can't.
well.
I guess there's just something, even really good live theater. Like I've seen Broadway musicals, and sometimes just because it's so well produced, it's more enjoyable. But I always get bored, and I always want to leave at the intermission. And I think it's partially being just not having a short attention span because I'm a dumb millennial, but also like I can listen to something that's just auditory. Like I can listen to a movie. I listen to like fictional podcasts where it's just sounds and I can imagine it all in my head. But something about watching people on a stage, I'm like, I know it's not, I can't get into this because I know who you are. You're some poor lady who works at a coffee shop. Every time I see a play, I'm like, I know all of these people.
Yeah.
And even, I don't know.
Then maybe Bertolt Brecht would be the playwright for you, seeing as he liked to play with the idea that everyone knows you're watching a play. And he was not into the immersion. He actually liked distancing techniques to make you remember all the time that you are watching a fictional construct. So maybe that part would be helpful because it is kind of distracting to know that, like, especially community theater.
Right.
It's like you're watching, okay, you're doing like a half good job, probably because you're tired from your other fucking job. And you're also just doing community theater. A lot of community theater people, when I went and saw it, like the big plays were all like local news people.
Oh, that's
so it's
awesome.
like, yeah, it's like the thing they
the
did on the
weatherman.
side. Yeah, it was like I was also like a local theater people.
The weatherman is the music man.
Steve Phillips. It looks like we have 76 trombones coming in a cold front. That's how you mash them both up together. You liked it. Laviano liked it.
I did like it. Yeah, I think that people who hate theater hate it for the same reason that a lot of people hate improv, which is that they only see bad improv or bad theater. Like, as someone who just went to see a really fucking good play, it was like so good.
If you can get
Really?
sucked in,
Yeah.
if you can like really bring yourself to like, it's like, because it's also like the same thing as like seeing like a band live to me. Because like, they're like, I also know these people are just like fuck arounds
Yeah.
at the same time, but you know, you can get lost in the moment and be in like this live
I don't like being
performance
trapped.
aspect.
I don't like the formality of it. Like that's why I don't go to the Comedy Central tapings because every time I've gone, I've
There's
just
no
had.
fucking way you'll see me there.
Yeah, I've never gone to the. I've gone to the Comedy Central tapings 1 year, and I had to piss the whole time, and I hated it.
Yeah.
I was so fucking miserable because they don't let you piss, and I had to piss more because I knew that I couldn't.
You should get a stadium buddy.
What do you mean?
It's an external catheter that people wear to baseball games.
I should get that. I or just like wear a fucking diaper. I can't not pee, and knowing
I think that
can't
you should
pee.
not wear a diaper and wear an external catheter.
Okay.
You should go both.
Oh,
Honestly,
man, y'all.
safe than
Because
sorry.
you're gonna get kicked out just from the sound of the squishing.
Oh
as you-
God! Oh God! God, there was this stupid idiot. Also, I
I
couldn't
saw
go
that
pee.
those
Someone trying
tapings
to take off ice skates around here.
they like fucked up. They fucked up filming it, and someone like had a great set, but then they made him come out for like to do like one punchline in front of the audience,
It's like retape
that's
one
and it was
punchline.
the most horrifying.
And everybody
thing.
had to like fake laugh at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, he looked terrible. Like doing it
it
too. It
felt
was
bad.
Definitely the worst moment of
No
everyone's
comic
life.
wants to
Which
do that
one? I
too,
saw
though.
that happen. Do you remember who it was? I saw that happen at one.
It was Matthew Broussard.
Oh, I didn't see his.
Matthew
I love
Broussard,
Matthew
man, he's a
Broussard.
really funny guy, man.
He is
I would,
Yeah, he
I-
did. It wasn't his fault at all either.
no,
And then he had
yeah.
to like come back out
He's
and
so
be
nice.
like,
That's like
the
the-
punchline, and that was it.
Yeah, that's like just the worst situation. Nobody would want to do it. Like I have to just come out and say like a contextless punchline.
I wish I wish Stanley Kubrick were still alive so he could direct stand-up specials. Ooh. Can you imagine how many fucking takes and how many times people would have to do that shit?
Oh
Well,
God!
they would
so
just
tight.
he would break them.
Yeah, he would ruin lives.
I would just kill
That'd be
myself.
awesome.
I wonder if
You kind of are. You've already internalized the Stanley Kubrick ethos. I think you're like you have very high standards for yourself and everyone around you. You really, really do. Yeah.
I would love to see what he could have done with The Last Waltz. Can you imagine him doing reshoots of that, like instead of
never seen that.
that documentary concert
Didn't they
film
have
about the
to
band?
like cover up like
Nope.
was it Clapton's nose or
Oh, Neil Young.
Neil Young? Yeah, because he just like had coke all over his face.
He had the world's largest cocaine. Like they
love
literally
Neil
spent
Young.
like $20,000 in rotoscoping to figure out how to take out the freaking cocaine meteorite out of his nose.
Yeah,
It would've
they
been cheaper to
pioneered
just-
new ways to edit film, like just because Neil Young was too fucking cool.
Yeah,
I think it probably would have been cheaper just to paint in like a powdered donut in his hand.
Oh man, if anyone's casual enough to just go on stage with a donut, it's that man, dude. Neil Young, the king of camping. Can you imagine how good he would be at going camping? That's what I always
pretty
think.
good, but then you remember that he made that weird device to play FLAC audio, and he's like, how much is this guy really like roughing it? You know what I mean?
Wait, what device?
He made
the Zune?
It's not a Zune. It was like around the time of the Zune, though. He marketed this music service that was an MP3 player that would give you it was kind of like for audio files. All I know is that I just don't know how much he roughs it. You know what I mean? It's like through my headphones, I gotta have perfect quality. Oh, that was not perfect.
You're
I
fine.
hit a little sibilant.
Those never show up on the actual recording. This is just the headphone amp clipping. But go on.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Well, all I know is that a headphone amp would never clip in whatever device that old Neil Young came up with.
You could still get it. Pono.
The Pono portable music player.
How much is it now?
Used from $300.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Christ, used?
Yep.
Has anyone ever bought it?
It's probably the one seller is just Neil Young, who has one, and he's like, I'm not letting go of this for less than 300 clams.
I walked away from a freaking multi-million-dollar record contract. You think you're gonna pry this thing out of my hand for less than $300?
Oh man, I don't understand anyone else with food. Like when I'm hungry, if I don't eat immediately, I feel like I'm going to die. And there's all this food here, and I'm the only one that's eaten.
Yeah. I mean, I ate on my way here.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
I had
I'll take a bite of this chicken.
Take a bite of the chicken.
Yeah.
You should take a bite of the
I'll
chicken.
make Mary Devin feel.
Because if not, because I want to eat it. That's why I get nervous when people don't eat, because I want to eat all the food, and I'm like, someone has to eat it, so I can't eat all the food.
Yeah, my go-to, whenever I'd feel bad in any way, emotional or physical, I just stop eating immediately. I feel like I'm going to throw up if I eat anything.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm the opposite. My instinct is to eat to solve any problem.
Yeah. Right now, if I eat anything, it will go right through me, and I will have to pause the podcast.
I did just take a shit, and I'm wearing a romper, so I had to get fully naked in your bathroom, other than my boots.
That explains why you were gone for 30 minutes.
Yeah, I was gone for a long time.
Yeah.
I had to unbutton all of my romper. And then, anyway, but...
You can't just poop out one of the leg sleeves?
No, really risky there. Also, huge risk of getting shit all over my only article of clothing, which would be...
You could borrow Susanna's something.
I could just take a shower with my clothes on.
I'll give you that tweed blazer. Wouldn't do anything for your shit ass.
Also,
but,
I don't wear underwear, so I don't think Suze would appreciate me wearing her clothes.
That's what the washing machine is
Sounds
for.
like a romp.
Suzanna's fucking ride or die. If you have to get vaginal juices.
If you shit yourself at her house, she will give you clothes.
Exactly. That's not really right. That's basic humanity.
Yeah, that's just no. You have to walk around in a towel.
If you shit yourself at my house, on contrast, you better walk home like fucking Donald Duck, okay, with your ass out.
What'd she say?
What? I don't know.
Susanna, what'd you say?
She's...
Oh, thank you,
Susanna
Suze.
will let you borrow anything. Meanwhile, I'll have you looking like Porky Pig with a shit ass walking down the boulevard.
In like a barrel.
Oh,
Yes.
man.
I was just about to say that no one makes me feel how little I know about pop culture as intensely as you do. You are dropping references lefty righty. You're like the James Joyce of pop culture references. You just sprinkle them in. And then people resent you for it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, I hope so. Yeah, I wish this was a portrait of an artist as a younger man, but alas, I'm a little bit too old now. No, I just have a fucking broken brain, and I just sat in the middle of as much pop culture to distract me from my feelings since I was like 10 years old as I could.
You know that scene from Freaks and Geeks where the tall goofy one? Anyone? Come on.
I know who he is.
Yeah,
Martin Starr.
I
Yeah.
want to fuck Martin Starr so bad.
That
I love him so
explains
much.
so much about
I
you.
love him.
So much about you. Holy shit.
Well, he's like hot now. I feel like he's Guilfoyle, and he's kind of hot now.
He's hot as Guilfoyle
alright.
only because of his character. Which
Yeah,
is,
which is a web developer Satanist, which is not that hot, I guess. But
Well,
But anyway, the scene where he's like eating cereal and watching
Yeah.
TV and like laughing. It's like a montage. Was that your?
basically, yeah. I was.
Me too.
My parents both worked a ton, so I was at home a lot.
Yeah.
So I just watched a lot of TV and comedy.
That's how I got into stand up. Was Friday night stand up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I used to watch Premium Blend
Religious-
and
yeah,
all kinds of
yeah.
crazy stuff like that all the time. And then I just kept on keeping on listening and watching. I watched Kids in the Hall. Love Kids in the Hall.
It's weird that like our like initial exposure and love of comedy came during like the worst period for it, probably not in terms of quality, just in terms of like people making money off of it, like post boom. I never thought about that, but to me it seemed like this bounteous world of like there's so much stand up, but really it was like contracting while we were getting into it.
Oh God, now there's so much stand up.
I know.
Well, there's so much everything now. That's the other thing, is there's so much everything. We can't like. There's like 5 million TV shows. There's going to need a writer's room for all fucking 5 million of them. There's going to be, there's the opportunity out there. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, there's a fucking load of comedians, but there's a lot of fucking jobs for comedians.
For sure.
Now.
Yeah.
So it's like, it matches and fills. Now, do I think there's, like every fucking profession, you get too many electricians, like some of them are going to be dog shit at it.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
But it is what it is. I definitely, try not to bemoan what's going on in comedy, seeing as I always pretty much hate it.
Yeah.
Not in terms of like what everybody's doing, but it's just hard to watch comedy for me.
Yeah.
It just makes me feel
MD has that problem too.
Yeah.
I like have a really, really, really bad memory. And so when I go to shows and see you do the same bit that I've seen you do a million times, I am genuinely laughing.
Oh,
because
that's
it's
so
like
nice.
it's like, and I mean, and that's the case for everybody.
Because you
Like,
have amnesia.
Well, hey, Barry
I
Devin-
really do. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, hey,
It's
Barry
what makes
Devin
me-
also, it's not like the words of the joke that's 100% of the performance either. She's performing
No,
it
of
and doing a
course,
great job.
of
She's
course.
always new every time.
Thanks,
It's a fun
Cyrus.
time. Of course.
I still like to watch Cyrus's bit about the head shop. Always adding new things. You don't remember because you don't remember
Exactly.
bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always evolving.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you gotta you gotta make it fresh.
Yeah.
You gotta keep
Yeah.
it fresh for yourself.
The number one like reason why I have had what little success I have in writing is because as soon as I write something, I forget what I've written, so I can look over it with a fresh eye and revise. It's not like I have any talent whatsoever. It's just that I'm
Yes,
able
you
to.
do.
That's a talent.
that's
I
a
mean,
talent.
I think
yeah.
that is that's like the only manifestation of
Well,
it.
yeah.
Is that I because I'm able to forget, I'm able to see the flaws very clearly.
Oh wow,
You know?
that's I guess. Man, I am so bad at writing. I love whenever I'm like, I'm gonna write like about my feelings today, and I always feel like it's really good because I'm like in it, and then I look at it the next day, and it like is it's not just bad or trite. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So
I'm like so bad at like writing. I love coming up with ideas and talking and improvising, but like I tried to write. I took like a short story class in college and stuff, and tried to write little short stories, and it would all come out very much in the same way as like an improv way or anything. It was really hard for me to go back and make revisions and see things differently.
Yeah.
yeah,
but
I am the total opposite process-wise from you two, where it's like all my best writing work happens in this room, and then like with regard to stand up, and then I go up, and if I go off the cuff, like if I deviate at all from like, at least for the first maybe 20 times I do a bit, if I deviate at all, it sucks balls. Like,
Really?
If I stay on like, I was talking to somebody recently about like how nice it was to see Sean Patton go up, because it was a good reminder that like there's a huge gulf between getting a laugh at every punchline and crushing. You know what I mean? And I'm like good at writing something where I can get a laugh at every punchline, but I don't know how to close that distance, and I think it's because I can't improvise at all.
Yeah, but I think that's just getting comfortable on stage, because you're not really comfortable on stage yet, right?
No, I'm getting there. I'm only uncomfortable if I'm doing something that I don't.
You
know
still get
perfectly.
nervous.
It's more fun to
take
watch
beta
someone
blockers.
figure it out on stage.
Yeah.
I think like everything good I've ever come up with has been because I figured it out like right there, and then I'll try and replicate it with like the same words, and it's like not the same thing.
Yeah, there's,
anymore.
like-
You gotta like, even with your like, if you have a joke, unless it's like exactly about the wording of it, just like say it different, and it'll be better.
yeah, there's I don't know how to like. I've definitely come up with stuff that I try to leave myself room to keep things changing every time. So like there's parts of jokes that are like hard like hardly like the words are set in stone, and then there's parts where it's not, and you just have to like close the distance and being like, I feel like it's be like writing in that style where you don't write down every word. For me, has opened me up to being a little more comfortable on stage, just because it would be an extra level of self-consciousness that I would be adding if I was trying to remember every
Right.
word.
I'm writing something
think
that's
that
not
there's
stand up
two-
right now, and every time I do it, I'll sit down and I'll write for like a half an hour or like an hour tops, and the whole time I'm like, this is fucking gold, like this shit is
Yeah.
great, and then I read it and I'm like, oh, this is.
Well,
It's 2 sentences and it sucks.
You need both of those. You need to be, when you're writing a first draft or when you're drafting, to be able to feel like you're a genius while you're doing it, because that's the only way you can sustain yourself through the process of writing, because it's extremely painful. And then you have to be able to fucking hate it so that you can edit. Like, you have to be able to vacillate between those two extremes.
Yeah, it's
What are
hard for
you
me to not
writing?
like burn shit.
So yeah,
What are
in
you
this
writing? Okay.
in the stand-up thing, I think
good,
that's
though.
like
It's
for stand-up, that's it manifests in a different cycle than that. But it's a very similar process where like you write a joke and then you like it for like 2 weeks, or for me like one time telling it, and then you know you tell it a few more times. You're like, actually, I fucking hate this.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this joke. Now that I've told it 5 times,
Yeah.
I think it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And you're like, how can I make this more tolerable for me to tell?
Dude, I've done shit for like
Right.
4 months and then been like, I don't even agree.
No, absolutely.
that I'm making.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's just like a weirder, longer process. It's the same process of a writer of like I like came up with something great,
Right.
and then like looking back at it and be like, I can improve this, I can change it up. It just manifests itself in this long, weirder like rehashing of it, where you feel like you go through the whole thought process again every time you tell it, so you like retread that territory in your brain every time.
Yeah.
And you start to see it for what it is a little clearer when you're doing it. You're like, okay, that's not exactly perfect, and you like can feel yourself like hesitating when you're supposed to be saying, you're not like giving it the same verb as you used to. You can feel yourself zone out a little
Right.
bit in the middle of the joke, and then you're like, man, I gotta get this together. What
Right.
the fuck is wrong with this joke?
Yeah, you ever see like especially fucking like new comics? They'll just do the wrong part of the fucking bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so like
Yeah.
And, yeah.
painful to watch. Someone just be like bad at like just saying the
Words
yeah.
together in a way that makes sense.
This shit is painful, yeah, and it's because of that. They've added that extra structure to it. We're like, I gotta remember every single one of these words, and this bit, this chunk leads to this chunk, and then the chunks get out of order in your brain, and you're
God.
like, oh fuck. Well, now I was supposed to say this. I was
blowing
supposed to say that.
chunks, man.
You gotta have that old mind palace, man.
I almost
That's-
blew chunks
that would be
when I
a-
went to the bathroom
if-
just now. Jesus Christ. Nah, I'm good.
Doesn't help. Okay.
What?
Well, it'll
Weed?
help, but then I'll just feel like too good to talk.
Thank you.
You
Look
know.
how greasy my hands are.
Oh yeah, hit it with the chicken grease.
Yeah.
There, Devin. Get
Sorry. I'm just gonna rub my hands in my hair.
That actually probably looks great.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
And
It
smells
can't hurt
delicious.
today.
Yeah.
I
Dude, that's
Oh
the
my
most
God,
southern
dude.
woman thing I've ever
I
seen
want
you
to-
do. Just
Rub the
rub
grease in
chicken
your hair.
grease in your hair.
Yeah.
dude, Lucid showed me this video. Sorry, that was the dumbest like inhaling voice. Yeah, but Lucid showed me this video of this southern woman who like makes cheesecakes, and she's furious that Ginger. You've seen it? It has like 105,000 retweets. Oh God, it's so good. It's this southern lady and her daughter's filming her, and she's like, and then Ginger responds, I'm in the country. Well, Ginger, my car goes in the country and the city. Do you want the fucking cheesecake or not? It's amazing. It's fucking amazing. She's like, my car goes all the way to Dallas. It's so good. It's
Yeah, that
so
lady
good.
was fed up with being jerked around about that cheesecake.
I think it's so funny that people think Southern accents are like stupid or really nice, because in my mind they've always been like funny, but not because they're like not because I'm making fun of them, but because Southern people, it's so funny to hear something that is like, I don't know. So I don't know.
They have an incredible exasperation
Yes,
to them.
exactly.
Like whatever a person is, like a Southern person at their wits' end is like a very, very funny person to encounter.
It's so
for
great
sure.
because everything is so long.
Everything's long. Everything's colorful. You know what I mean? She like no one needs to make that joke about my car goes all the way to Dallas.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly,
That's a
exactly.
Southern person thing to say. That's a fun joke.
I love
and
that.
It also happens where people make the jokes. I like when people make jokes when they're pissed.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
It's like,
Me too.
Yeah.
My car goes. That's a
Yeah.
good line.
You have to watch it. It's like 2 minutes long and it's so good.
Southern accents, I think, are really good pissed off accents because there's so many extra diphthongs. Like there's so many extra syllables in there that creates a lot of space for a lot of like inflection.
Right,
You know
I
what mean?
agree.
Take it down to Dallas. Dallas.
Oh man, getting made fun of by Southern people is also really great.
It hurts their feelings.
Northern
Yeah.
people being pissed off, just like you went from repression to violence.
Yeah.
Like that's
Right.
the whole.
Yeah. I think about a northern person being pissed off. I just hear the word harumph. That's all. You little fucking jerks, little weeble wobbles walking around like goddamn Slugworth to me. Every bad person in the north is fucking Slugworth. Trying to sneak out a gobstopper, and then the fucking Charlie says, "No gobstopper for you." And fuck you, South. I love it. We got a brand new way of doing things down here, and it's called frying chicken. Man,
Down here in
y'all
Waveland.
excited? You guys, y'all sports heads? It's sports o'clock here in New Orleans, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Goddamn that.
Hell yes.
Yeah, dude. I don't really give a fuck about football at all, but I will be in Atlanta like the week before the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
and
you're gonna be doing
I
sets.
am gonna who dat all over the goddamn city.
I'm knocking on this hardwood floor because I want Benjamin Hoffman to get literally hate crimed by Atlanta Falcons fans. This would be incredible. You gotta go in there and be a fucking splinter in their eye if we get there. But it'd be
Absolutely
fantastic.
gonna do that for
yes, my man. Look, right now, like the other day, I just let loose for 15 minutes in my house, like an unceasing string of Philadelphia slander. I was really mad, and I'm sure
You were
Philadelphia's
on
a fine place.
an old Bill Burr.
Oh, classic Bill Burr. Yeah, I forgot about that old Bill Burr tip. But yeah, I was also I'm very, very angry and mad that we have to play other teams before the Super Bowl, and I hate all those other teams, and I want to beat them all so bad, and I'm hoping we can.
Yeah.
What about you?
My Saints experience is primarily a fair weather fan.
Love it.
Not until we're like,
Hey, and the weather's good, bud.
yeah, exactly. Not until we're like batting 750 am I like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll pay attention this season. And now, so like I'm paying attention, but also home. I like away games. I call it away field advantage because the traffic's great. There's no traffic.
Oh, we get no traffic here,
Yeah,
and so it makes
exactly.
the play better.
Exactly. Or no, it makes me happy that I don't get like getting stuck in Saints traffic when you're not at the game. Fucking blows.
Yeah, well, it's about to be here this
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Watch out.
I know.
I still don't understand football. Like when I watch it, I just zone out because I have no idea what's going on.
I will say that the way it is filmed, it's hard to learn because you see so little of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I wish that they just broadcast like the fucking 22.
The all 22, though,
Yeah.
you don't get to see much of the action. Can't see the athleticism. That's what the problem is.
Yeah, but
it
I'm-
becomes what you're
I'm more interested
focusing.
in the
You know,
strategy.
he's an X's and O's guy.
I'm an X's and O's.
He's about the X's and O's, not
Football's
the
just
Jimmys and Joes.
a swole play.
What's that?
Football's just a swole play. It's just like live
It is,
theater,
yeah.
but everyone's angry.
Yeah, I mean,
don't like
there's
it.
a
It's
lot of
very boring.
memorization involved. you know?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of there's blocking and there's also blocking. You know, like
Oh, yeah. Hey,
hey.
that's a parallel you can draw.
Yeah.
I really, really
thanks for
enjoy
patronizing me. Go on. Yeah.
No, yeah, but the scripted aspect of it is very interesting. The strategy is what I like about it too, because I think that's, that's how you win a strategy, right? And that's how you can. Setting up different coverages versus different alignments, finding schemes, blocking schemes, figuring out pulling guards and stuff to do sweeps. Oh man, that's the good stuff. You ever run a little power O over to the right side?
Watching MD
that?
pretend to enjoy this conversation is really enjoyable.
Am
It's
I
not-
pretending? I think I'm visibly hating
No,
it.
because you're like smiling, but with your eyes frowning, and as you try and like,
Oh,
and you're,
spicy chicken in my eyes.
Ooh, should have touched your hair first.
I hate that.
Oh gosh,
gotta-
you need an eye wash. You need to hit the eye
No,
wash
it's fine.
station.
It's not that bad.
Do you need to pull that cord
It's
that makes
fine.
the shower happen?
No, it's okay. I always hurt myself just sitting here on this podcast.
yeah.
That's how I
has
felt.
happened.
I feel like way every
I'm
day.
okay.
Yeah,
Once a
if you're
day.
being injured podcasting, the football conversation is probably not for you.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
My
to
nephew
ruin the
plays football,
conversation.
and I like him, and I don't want him to die. So that's what
Yeah,
I think about.
I honestly, I do have political opinions about football, but I don't even think it's fair that I do, because even if it was completely fine and they paid college players and no one got brain injuries, I still would think it was boring and hate it. So why, in my opinion, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Basketball is the best on TV for sure. Like any
Yeah, I can.
sports,
I like basketball
fucking-
games.
any sports. If you're there like live, it's cool. But
I hate watching basketball because to me in a sport, there's not enough at stake if someone can score and people are like, all right, you know what I mean? Like
There's too many points in basketball.
too many goddamn points
Yeah.
in basketball. Like.
You want some more stakes involved, I guess? Is that it?
Yeah, hockey, people fucking shit themselves every time you score. Even there's
It's just like 7-6 now these days.
exactly. I mean, but still.
Yeah.
I've never seen a hockey
soccer.
game.
Like
Don't.
people
Fucking
It's
hate
so
hockey.
bad.
pray
on
to the
TV.
Virgin
Really?
Mary every time they score in soccer. Fucking
Oh, yeah.
tennis. Like
All kinds of points in tennis.
yes, but it's It's
I like
It's
watching
perfectly
tennis.
structured. There's something at stake in like like first serve, like that is your chance to really have a good serve, and then you miss, and the second serve is like, oh fuck, like you can't fault, so you gotta like kind of limp
Take a
it
little
in.
off of it,
Yeah,
yeah.
take a little off of it. And like service, like winning service games versus breaking, like there's all these stakes.
Yeah, for sure.
In tennis, in a way that there's not about.
Dude,
I've hated
Deuces,
tennis my whole
ads.
life just because I didn't like the one kid who played.
Oh,
it
people
that
who
I knew.
play tennis fucking suck, except for me and Cyrus.
Yeah, we're the only good ones
Yeah.
that ever existed.
Yeah.
Everyone else can really kiss the old butt ass.
Like if I played at Wimbledon, I would wear a pair of tidy whities and a wife beater. Those would be my whites, I think.
oh, nice,
But do you
nice,
think?
nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Me, I'm going. I'm going to take a page out of John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever's playbook. I'm going to go all white leisure suit on the fine green grass of Wimbledon.
I didn't think there was a funnier image than my tidy whities and wife beater, but that is much funnier.
Oh man, it would be a good set. You know, you would play a little music there. We get down, we play a little singles on there. Me and you doubles versus I don't know, the Bryan brothers. We
Yeah.
can bring out the Bryan brothers to play us. Get our asses whooped by some fine American doubles players, but it would be a lot of fun to do it on the grass of Wimbledon with those low boys over there.
Yeah.
It is truly astounding how much shit you know, Cyrus.
It really, yeah. he knows
Most of the
so
time
much
you're
stuff.
talking, I'm like, yeah, that reference just I have no idea, but
See, this is the thing is that thanks to people like you who humor me whenever I say things like that, I don't know how far off the deep end I am with things that I've like. To me, it's common that people know who the American champion doubles team is. It'd be the twin brothers, the Bryan brothers, and they're not even playing that well. They're not even playing together anymore. That's the thing. They've been around for a long time now.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant and Brian Adams. Those are the
Bryan brothers.
brothers.
You should write before and
Ryan
after
Adams.
for Jeopardy,
Fuck.
man.
That's Ryan. Wait, there is a Brian Adams.
There's a
yeah,
Brian,
there's a Brian and a Ryan.
Yeah, who's Brian Adams?
Brian Adams
Is
is
he
Boys
like
of
a-
Summer, or no, Summer '69.
Summer 60.
Yeah,
yeah.
And then Ryan Adams is like,
Sat in his fucking house with a guitar playing that fucking
yeah,
Taylor
he's
Swift
like
covers
he's
or
like
whatever.
Americana Elliott Smith.
Yeah,
but-
yeah. A little bit of like a more mature Ben Queller type.
Yeah, or like a Father John Misty, but whinier.
Yeah,
You know.
there you go.
Damn, that's whiny.
Yeah,
Damn, that's whiny.
It's pretty whiny.
Also, confession hour. I've never listened to a lick of Father John Misty.
Dude,
It's
you
not
are not
good.
missing anything.
it's
I like
very
it,
bad.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're
Not-
a person
It
who really likes
sounds
to
like
dive in
someone
there.
made up a musician to make fun of in a movie.
He, I
you-
think, hates music.
Yeah,
that's why I like
exactly.
him.
If you so
Because he's
if
like
you
he's like
want
Ween
good-
or Zappa, where it's like everything he's doing is just making fun
You think
of the
that-
concept of music, and I think it's funny.
Is that true?
he's very contemptuous. I think that if you want good lyrics, like I think his lyrics are his only strength. The music is boring as fuck. If you want good lyrics and like Americana
sing
vibes,
well, too.
fucking Silver Juice. That's all you need.
Oh, dude, I love a Silver
Yeah,
Juice.
Silver
though.
Juice
Silver
kick
Juice
ass.
is
Silver
fucking
Juice kick
shred.
ass.
And he is just shitty Silver Juice. He's like,
Oh, then good. Then
Yeah.
I've already.
I am
I've
out.
heard
You're
it. I've
good.
already listened to it.
I can't get into music unless I do it on accident. I'm losing that part of my brain that wants to find new things. So I'll
Yeah,
like
who
hear a
needs that?
song, and then I'll be like, oh, that part was catchy, and then I'll get obsessed with one song, and I won't like any other songs on an album, and then I'll wear it out. That's what I've been doing for months. I can't find like a good album.
Man,
I've only been listening to old Ludacris for like the last 2 months, and I'm having a really good 2 months.
finally, man. Me, I've just, my Your Top Songs 2018 is nearly identical to Your
Just
Top Songs
2017.
2017.
Same here.
yeah.
Just keep it rolling.
Mine is
Because you're
all,
playing it off that fucking playlist for the whole next
Some
year.
of it, yeah, some
dude.
of it. But then I was going and there was a couple of new things but it's not new. You know what I mean? There's some things that I
That you
went back
found,
and
yeah,
listened
same
to
here.
from a long time ago that I also listened to like briefly back then.
Man, remember?
I think I had both the explicit and the clean, because I listened to it at work, version of Splash Waterfalls on my top 100.
I don't know what that is.
It's ludicrous.
Oh, okay.
It's a ludicrous song.
Yeah, mine was all, my top 2018 was all rain sounds and lo-fi chill hip hop, which is
Your work music.
The older I get, the more utilitarian I am about music. It's like I use it to tune things out.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I get so depressed. I mean, when I'm working, I'll put on shit like that, but I rarely end up being able to because I work at a school. And if I have AirPods, and which I accidentally call earbuds all the time. But anyway, I have them when my hair's down. I'll have them in, and a child will be coming up to me and talking to me, and I won't know. And they'll just be like, "Why are you ignoring me?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know you were there." And they're like injured because I'm right by the nurse's office. So I realized I kind of have to keep my headphones out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be-
Pretty much every day you like say that there's a kid like coming to you bleeding.
Oh yeah, every day. So the nurse was gone for fucking one day, and she had a sub, and so there was a sub nurse. And then it was fine all day, slow day in the nurse's office.
Sure, good.
She leaves. There's a 20-minute window where there's no nurse at the school. A kid comes in and a sub comes in screeching, freaking out. They're both freaking out, the kid and the sub. The kid's bleeding from her eyeball. Whoa. And the sub's like, she got stabbed in the eye with a pencil. And I was like, are you fucking
That happened to
kidding me?
with scissors.
But I saw the
Motherfucker,
pencil
he
lead.
still has pencil lead in his eyelid.
Oh, that's what that
Yeah,
is.
I've been looking at it. I know.
We thought it was a tattoo for when you murdered somebody, but
I think it's gone, but I had a scar like right below my eye for a long time because my nephew like got scared when I came up behind him and stabbed me in the face with some scissors.
hell yeah, that is fight or flight. He's a fight boy. I'm a flight boy for sure. But he's a fighter, man. That's pretty cool. It's a good thing that you're not a fighter because you would have killed me when I surprised you when you came out the bathroom from your shit.
I'm a flighter. Yeah, I will get killed immediately. Also, one time my friend and I heard a voice in my apartment. That place was haunted. I know no one believes me, but we heard a fucking demonic voice, and my friend insists that she doesn't remember it anymore.
I mean, it's in an apartment. You're gonna hear other shit.
There's
it was
walls and other people.
Yeah,
out
but there was no one else. It was incredible. It wasn't like a complex. I lived in this like building that was set back from the street in the dark, and it was this old ass building. And I knew all three of my neighbors, and none of them were there.
Where was this?
It was when I lived on Magazine Street.
None of them were demons.
There was some bitch that was at T&M lived by me and narked me out to the landlord all the time. I hate that bitch. But anyway, so
For what, like smoking weed or?
Who was it?
well, first of all, she would say I was smoking cigarettes. I did smoke inside sometimes, but once she knew I'd done it, she would tell the landlord I was smoking inside when I hadn't been home for a fucking month because I was living with Jeff.
Why did she? Why?
Because she would smell cigarettes from somewhere else because it was right off Magazine Street, and a tattoo shop was like across from us. We were in like effectively the same building, but like with a fence between, because the tattoo shop, the fire escape or whatever, was right here, and my porch was right here. One guy from the tattoo shop jumped the balcony to leave a love note on my door once.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was incredibly scary because he thought I wasn't there. And so I heard someone nailing something to my door. He was nailing dead roses and a love note to my door. And then I opened up.
Damn,
him in the
dead
chest
roses.
like Sparta,
Yeah.
fucking right off
It
the
was
balcony. you
fucking
prick.
terrifying, but he thought it was like romantic. Anyway,
So did you go out on a date with him?
no, he's in American Horror Story. He has tattoos all over his face. He has like 6 teeth. His name's Skitch. He is like, crust punk Forrest
Sketch of
Gump.
Lilo and
yeah.
Sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those functional crackheads.
No, but anyway, it was haunted.
Forrest Gump.
And when we heard a demon voice, I left
funny.
my friend. I ran away and left her in the apartment. It was Katie Sims. Do you remember Katie Sims?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, I've been a terrible friend.
You ran away.
I ran away. I was like, I'm getting out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right, that's the only part that makes me feel like it might actually be a ghost, is if you got that scared.
I was really scared. She was not far behind me, but we didn't like come up with a plan together. I was like, okay, I'm leaving. You can
Yeah.
come.
Did you hear what it like?
It did not sound human, and it sounded like I don't want to try it. It won't sound scary if I do an impression of it, but it was really scary.
What did it say?
Do an impression.
I didn't
of it.
hear actual words, but it sounded like someone was like speaking in tongues. Like it sounded like an exorcism from a movie. It was really scary, and we had just done drugs, but they were
What
not
kind of drugs?
not ones that make you hallucinate.
What kind of drugs?
Cocaine.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Case
Okay.
closed.
All
Oh shit!
right.
Sorry.
I think we might have cracked this nut here.
Case closed.
But I don't hallucinate from that drug. But
No one hallucinates from that drug, but sometimes you have
People
a
do
little
get
bit auditory.
paranoid as fuck.
People get paranoid
Yeah.
as fuck. You might hear a
Sometimes
little bit
it's
of
cut
a
with a little
noise.
something special. You know.
Any sort of
Yeah.
repeating low noise that your freaky cocaine brain can make a pattern out of, like
It will do.
That was probably just some mucus like
just
coming
somebody-
loose in your brain.
We both heard it.
It was probably just some machine going like.
It was
And you
really
guys
scary.
were fucked up on a little bug shook. And you were
There was
looking
other
around.
shit in that apartment. Like shit would go missing.
A little powdered sugar.
Shit would go missing, and then it would return in places where I had looked a million times and no one else had been in my fucking apartment. It was really scary. I swear.
You are an alcoholic.
Okay, but I'm an alcoholic who has. I'm like a little raccoon. When I'm drunk, I put things places. I have my places.
Oh yeah, I make the bed drunk.
Yeah, I do
Oh,
everything.
I wish I did that.
I have my little routines. I have little places where I throw everything when I'm drunk. And my apartment was like a studio. There was only one big room that had like half a wall. That was my whole apartment. So things would be gone, and there was nowhere to put them. I barely had furniture. I had a bed and a table. Anyway, it was really, really scary that things went missing in my
I
apartment.
can tell you're frustrated that we don't believe you right now.
Tell me about the things going.
It was a
missing.
really old. It's also a really, really old building.
I don't buy
Anyway.
it.
I buy the things going
Scary
missing.
as shit.
two questions.
Every dude I slept with said they were creeped out by my apartment. Maybe that was an excuse to leave after they fucked me. But they all said that
Oh man, that's ghosting.
it's a great. Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm afraid of the ghosts. Yeah.
Fuck you. Fuck you for that joke. Everyone just
That's
a little
very nice.
golf
That's
clap.
very cute.
Okay, so two questions. One, is there gonna be any chicken left for me, or do I have to take
you have a-
take
There's
your
a lot
crown?
of chicken in there, man.
There's a leg and a thigh.
Oh, bless you.
She still gets to be king for
is
bringing
still
you
mine.
get to be king.
chicken.
And then the other question is, do you believe in ghosts?
Yes, I do.
Me, I don't.
Yeah.
Personally, not a
I believe in
believer.
ghosts.
Benjamin?
I have very dumb beliefs about it. I think people have experiences that are completely inside their own minds, but they're so common and part of the human experience that there is a phenomena that is ghosts. And it's like, because everything we experience is constructed in our minds, it's real enough to like have a measurable effect on people.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yes, for sure.
So
God
in,
is
in
real,
that
ghosts
sense,
are
it's
real,
real.
and I'm going to hell. These are what I think.
Wait, really?
Listen,
That explains so much
Benjamin,
about you.
the
You think
question-
that you...
The question is
I'm
not.
still
are
afraid of going-
irredeemable.
I'm still afraid of going to hell.
Yeah.
The question is not. Are there psychic? Do people have psychological ramifications by believing they might have seen a ghost? The question is. You can't just like abstract the question out so far
Yeah, that's a
out.
straw man.
Yeah,
out of
come
control.
on. Like the question is, do you believe that there are ghosts? Ghosts meaning, do you believe that there are spirits from the other side that are still walking our realm and are interacting with humanity? Not some weird idea about like, well, I think people might have thought they have seen that, and therefore the things that they have think. They
Well, I think people
real,
are
and that's
people
a
are
real
so
thing.
wrong about what they think about reality anyway that like
Let's
it's
see.
not that much further off.
What a fucking. Listen, I
Fine, there's
respect you.
ghosts. There's fucking ghosts. Ghosts exist.
No, I'm just saying, man. It's just like whenever you can't just abstract every question down to back to like, well, if reality is a fake thing that we are all just all making all the time, then it just abstracts everything out too far out from what the actual question is, which is concrete, measurable things that you could feel in the world. You know what I mean? Do you like? Is this a table? We could all have a big philosophical, discussion about whether like. Well, we all are considering it a table, so that makes it a table, even if it is a chair and we're eating dinner.
I think
off
this
it,
is the closest
I
to
believe
pissed
that
off
Mary
I've ever
Devin
seen
was
you in
just-
my entire life.
Mary Devin was just getting drunk and misplacing things, and
No,
That's
there
what I
were
believe.
ghosts. Okay. Also, the house I grew up in, my great grandmother killed herself in it, or might have killed herself in it.
That's an unfortunate story.
It was a house that. So, anyway, we don't know if she killed herself. Her husband died. They were actually really in love and didn't believe in God, interestingly enough.
Cool.
And they
My kind of
like
people.
loved traveling but anyway, I don't think they were great parents. But they
Could have been the kids. They didn't have the conversation.
at like some dinner, like a family dinner, 6 months after her husband died, she said something like, I just don't want to be a burden anymore. And then she died in her sleep that night.
Yikes.
So I don't know. But I think my family likes to think that she killed herself because it makes us more interesting because we're pretty boring. But I also think that she definitely died in the house. And then they lost her body, which is extremely weird.
What?
There was the New Orleans coroner lost her body.
Wait, how is she supposed to cross over and not
you
haunt
can't
her
even
family
give that.
if
as an
she's never put to
excuse.
rest?
You can't. I mean,
like-
what are you gonna do? It's like, what are you gonna do? Just be like, no, give it. Like you can't.
I mean, someone's got to like get
Just make a new one.
right?
Find somebody.
They
give
did
me
something with that
somebody
body.
else's
probably burned
grandmother.
her because they thought she was the wrong lady.
There's
That's
no
what
evidence.
happened.
Yeah, they just incinerated
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Smell a lot of burnt hair there.
Or they needed.
Is that a crime?
I'm sure it is.
It's got to be a crime.
If it's not a crime, I'm going to get some bodies right now. 'cause that
Anyway,
sounds awesome.
I saw.
That's like a biblical crime.
Okay,
That's
well,
like,
biblical,
yeah.
I saw figures.
And
I
that's
saw
operating under
figures
the
in my
laws of
house
God
when I was
right
young.
now. Unfortunately, we operate under the laws of
And my
man.
dad saw shit too, but my dad also is the kind of person who would believe in ghosts. So
But so are
My
you.
mom absolutely
I know.
believes
Don't be
in
condescending about.
I'm not being condescending. I'm just saying,
To your
to be
father.
fair.
Yeah.
To be fair, he he believes in God more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Like my thoughts on it. My dad just believes in Catholic God, but he's probably chiller than they taught us.
Right.
But he believes in Catholic God.
I want to know everything about what you believe about
I don't
religion.
have really hard and fast beliefs. I just am extremely agnostic to the point that I think that it's very possible that Catholicism is right and we're all going to hell.
That is the most agnostic thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. But I also think that God might not be real.
Right.
And I also think that ghosts might not be real, but I'm not discounting. I would not be surprised if I die and find out the truth. If whatever God is you're a fucking idiot. Nothing was haunted. You're just an alcoholic.
Right. I'm real.
Yeah.
But ghosts
I'm real,
aren't.
but why would I do that?
fucking loser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You thought it was the ghost after you did 3 lines of cocaine? Yeah. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he was that was a demon. You lived in former slave quarters. They didn't like you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think that if you went to hell, you'd be Mary Demon Dupuy?
One of my 3rd grade teachers called me Mary Devil, and it was very antagonistic.
That is an antagonist.
Did that hurt your feelings?
That's
did.
child abuse.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's-
She always
Abusive.
drank Tab, so she's probably dead.
I'm
Tab
sure it
is
was
good
full
stuff.
of
It does
whiskey.
make you
Yeah.
mean as shit, though.
God, New Orleans ladies who are 50
Bad
love
Shasta.
Tab.
My mom loved Tab when I
Yeah.
was growing up. Yeah.
Man, religion, can't win with it, can't live without it, can't live with her, can't cross that stick, huh?
I think you can just live without it pretty easily.
Look,
I
don't
agree.
fucking
I
care
think
about
that
any
I
of
think
this
that the best way to live is as if there's nothing else, because then you live your life to the fullest. If you're kind of hedging and you're oh, maybe I'll get to go to a cool place, or maybe I'll go to bad. I don't know.
Yeah, I definitely, I think that from the time I was little, it always pissed me off that religion made you do good stuff to get a reward.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
but they also told you that you shouldn't do good stuff to get a reward. They're do it because for
Exactly.
Good,
Yeah.
but you get the reward of
But
eternal heaven.
also, yeah.
All that shit is whack. To me, I was just it doesn't fucking make a difference in my life. Day to day.
Right.
Right.
Nothing is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, it's even if it is real, he's not doing anything about it. God's real. Cool, change some shit, make some
Right.
shit happen.
Yeah.
If not, then I'm just gonna go about my day like you're not real.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I gotta fucking do me, dude. You're gonna. What kind of fucking egomaniac also wants every fucking 7 billion people on Earth to be yeah,
You're the man.
You're the man, dude. You
Right.
don't do shit for me, but whoa, we love your shit, brother.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself, God. You know what?
Yeah.
If he's
Yeah.
real, he's a prick and a half. So who wants to even fucking hang with him? I'd rather go with Mary Demon over here,
Yeah.
down to the fucking
Yeah.
eternal pit of hell.
I do agree that there's I don't know, I don't think people actually get punished. I don't think that karma happens. I don't think that I just think that there's something wrong, and I hope that people get punished one day for being really awful people.
Yeah, I'm superstitious.
Well, they're
way
gonna
more
get
than I am
punished when I'm
religious.
fucking murder them. That's,
Yeah, not by
I am
life, but-
God's agent on Earth.
I'm not vengeful though
man.
because I'm
I
too
am
afraid
become
religion.
death.
My
is real.
cat told me that.
Son of Sam stuff,
I'm
man.
trying to
Gotta
think of
love
other
David
ghost
Berkowitz.
experiences
Did
that
his,
I'm
yeah, it was the
convinced I
neighbor's
having.
dog, right?
Yeah, he was a mailman.
Was telling him to
Yeah,
kill people.
Sam was the dog, I believe.
Sam is
Yeah.
the dog. Yeah.
Oh, and he was the son.
he
of
was the
Sam.
son of Sam. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that
Wait.
rules.
Wait, but weren't they
I'm
calling him
texting
that
one
before?
of the dudes who thought
'Cause
my
he signed
apartment was
letters.
haunted.
Oh, okay, all
He
right.
signed letters calling himself the son of Sam.
Yeah.
That shit is going by the wayside now that people got automatic weapons and can just mow people down.
Ooh,
There's
yeah.
a lot less of that, you know.
Yeah, there's a lot less of that sneaking around, sending, taunting letters to the police type serial killers, huh? The BTK was probably the last one.
I think someone
like,
He got hemmed up by the Johnny
Fuck
Law.
the surveillance state, but it's probably a lot harder to be a serial killer now.
I think it's actually, depending on who you prey upon, pretty easy. They say there's like a lot of sex workers that have gone missing over the last few years up in like the New York, New Jersey area, and a lot of unidentified bodies that have been turning up around abandoned turnpikes around there and shit like that. So I think there are people still operating, and it's just about how much care and how much
people building fucking defunct water slides. You know?
and just
hoping,
lopping
praying.
off the head of every fucking
Senator's
future
son.
congressman.
I think there's someone who does a bit that's like from the perspective of a serial killer who's like very judiciously and carefully killing people one by one, and then like the Las Vegas massacre happens or whatever, and he's like, fuck, you got like 50. I'm like on 12. Like there's no way I'm gonna catch up, you know. Yeah,
That is a lot. That guy killed a lot of people in Las Vegas. Good Lord. He shot like many hundreds of people.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
400 people or
Good
something
God.
like that.
yeah.
My word. That's more people than my graduating class.
Is it weird? Is it weird that every time
Mine was 6 people, so
Oh, dude, mine was
something
like
like
300
that.
and something.
It was like 12 maybe.
Is it weird that every time there's a shooting, my immediate response is like, man, it's a lot easier to survive getting shot by a gun than I thought. Like, it's always like 75 people shot, 12 dead. It's like, fuck, like my odds are pretty good, even if I'm in a split.
yeah, I mean, think about all the parts of your body that you could get clipped in with like a bullet from far away, and that wouldn't kill you.
I've
You
thought
catch
about
one in
this.
the elbow from like a while.
I'm compact, so all the like important shit's close together.
Yeah.
so
That's true.
I'm probably, if I get shot, I'm going.
I knew a guy
I'm
who
going
had like
down.
cystic fibrosis who caught a stray round.
That sucks.
Yeah, man, at Mardi Gras one year.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Don't shoot up a parade, man.
Well,
That shit was bad news, man, but good for him. He survived that. I haven't checked in on him since, though, so hopefully the CF hasn't claimed him.
Looking at what I put on my Instagram story 8 hours ago. It's 11.
It's always good to
a.m.,
remind
so-
yourself of what that
Well, I'm
was.
deleting some of it because I remember.
any nip? Was there any nip
No,
involved?
there's no nip, but I hope no one listened.
Did you delete it already?
I deleted the embarrassing things. The
Oh,
rest
that's
is
too
my
bad.
cat chasing his tail.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
cute.
Yeah.
I think your cat might have mental problems. Like, the cats don't do that.
Man, last
You wanna
night I
see?
got high enough to talk about a movie I haven't seen for what felt like 3 hours.
What did you talk? Which one? Oh,
Vice.
Oh, Vice.
Were you
I
in that
haven't seen it.
conversation
No.
too? Yeah, no, I haven't seen it either, but man, I was talking a lot about it.
Oh, damn. We got to. Do you have to set up for Kyle? It's 11:44.
Kyle's just going to sit there. So
Oh, okay. So it's just gonna.
Well, I need to set up for work.
What time
y'all.
do you work?
I work at 2:30. Is when I have to
okay, so
clock
you
in,
gotta,
but I
like-
walk over there.
Oh, man.
So I have to leave at 1:30, and to get in on time.
How long's your shift?
It's an 8-hour shift. I get off at 10:30 today.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Wait, what's your job again?
I'm an attendant at a local escape room.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. Okay. For some reason, I thought you still worked at the tax place. I was like, why they got you working
fuck,
on Saturday? I remember
But
now.
it is tax season now. I would have had a shift on a Saturday probably. Was I still working at the tax place? But
Yeah.
as soon as the new year hits, right at January 1st, they fucking get that tax operation pumping.
Is the
And we
escape
start
room more
preparing.
fun than the, ooh, whoa. Is the escape room more fun than the tax
Oh,
job?
yeah. Is working at
What's
the
better,
amusement
the
park
adventure or
tax document preparation place? Yes, Mary. I appreciate that. No, it's way more fun. I get a lot more enjoyment personally out of it. Too.
That's
it's not
good.
just like
seen anybody
material.
break up or get in a serious fight? Because that seems like
I've seen some tension.
a bad place for some stuff to come out.
It can be.
Shut up, William. Yeah.
Yes. The thing is that, like, I think I see the inciting moments more than I see the actual unfolding. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, and
I see the tension.
You're over the intercom, right? So you
I'm over
probably
the intercom. I'm
sweetening things. You're a
trying
soulful
to.
fella.
I'm trying to. If
Oh, you're like
starting to.
the Portal voice from
I am,
Portal.
I am like
Yeah.
the Portal voice, except not as cruel as she is.
Well, yeah.
As GLaDOS. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to kill him.
Yeah.
But
Fuck, are you guys ever talking
Video
about?
games,
Video
bro.
games,
All
bro.
right.
You gotta get game.
You got game.
You gotta get the.
Got to be a gamer.
Get your FPS up, buddy.
Luke next door, he got a PlayStation 4 recently,
Whoa.
and he's been gaming, and
Gotta love it.
I bought NBA 2K19.
Gotta love it.
Just because I want to game,
Great game.
with my boy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But after I ordered it and before it arrived, someone broke into his house and stole his PlayStation.
Whoa.
So now you have a copy of a game you can't play.
Yeah, I know, it fucking sucks,
I have
man.
a PlayStation 4.
Whoa.
Dude, do you want to play 2K?
I'd love to play 2K sometime. I only have 2K15 on my.
I'm covered in chicken grease because
Yeah.
I never had
Chicken
an
grease.
You're extremely shiny.
I've just been rubbing it on my body.
You also, every time we've started talking about anything related to sports, you get so far away from the mic.
She checks out.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You gotta, not everything's for everybody.
Exactly.
What are your-
sports
I
is-
just wait around to talk about ghosts.
What are your go-to PlayStation games?
Right now, I'm playing Madden 19,
Oh, okay.
and I play sports games a lot.
As soon as he said Madden 19, you threw your phone.
What? Me too. There's so much grease that it slid out of my hand.
All right.
Yes, I'm
talking about Madden.
I'm about as basic as they come. I just play a lot of sports games, mostly
You
because
ever play Rocket League?
I play Rocket League.
I love Rocket League.
Rocket League is a lot of fun. I just play a lot of video games because that feel akin to like driving or something because I like listening to podcasts
Yes,
and doing that.
absolutely.
So I like being able to like not have to be super active on the game that I'm playing, but passing the time. Like playing 2K or something, you're not like making active decisions all the time. You're like reacting and passing and shooting and stuff.
I think about like mortality whenever I start playing video games. Like, I don't know why, but it's the one thing where I start doing it and I'm like, I have a limited amount of time on this planet.
Wow,
and
I
right
wish I
now I'm
had that. I will
playing video
lose
games.
days to games. Yeah.
I don't think about it that often, like
Isn't that
dying really, but some about video games, it's just like, all right, this is what I'm doing with my life. All right.
damn, you really internalized some anti-gamer.
Yeah.
Like-
Gamers are oppressed.
Yeah, dude. The anti-gamer ideology has infected your frontal cortex there.
Yeah.
Now you can't unlock it to
I
have
got
the
no
maximum.
religious guilt. Really.
Gamers rise
Just,
up.
yeah.
Gamers rise up.
Gamers rise. I gotta piss, y'all.
Go.
Wait, dude,
fun.
you want to plug your podcast? You should do
Yes,
that.
Sup First.
It's the
coming back
second best
strong.
podcast.
Yeah,
Second only
sure.
to this one.
Yeah, well, it's not a competition. We're all
This
friends
is different. He
here.
actually reads the news.
Yeah.
I read the news. I opine on the news. There's a Patreon if you also where you get some bonus content like time capsules from Dean's List. You can see. all the
Dean's List
fake
is a
news.
very good show.
Yes, we'll have another show in February. Fake news first Saturday at the Hi Ho Lounge in February. So check us out.
And plug your weekly showcase.
And I also host the fantastic show Comedy Beast with wonderful Vincent Zambon, friend of Mary Devin Dupuy, another host, friend of hers. They host a different show than Comedy Beast, which I won't name because the show I host is Comedy Beast on Tuesdays at the Howlin' Wolf Den, 8:30 p.m.
But definitely check out Sup First. It's good as fuck.
Thank you. I like to talk about the news. Anytime you guys want to talk about anything, I'd love to come back. I live literally a half block away.
That is
now,
true.
So I can just pop over here. Anytime anybody cancels, I can do the old.
You got an open
Fill in.
invitation to this house that isn't mine.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Anytime. Happy to be here. Love it. Love the pod. Love y'all. Thank you so much, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Smooches.